In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
People of Springfield, please don't eat my cats. Why would you do that? Eat something else. People of Springfield, please don't eat my dog. Here's a catalog of other things to eat.
They're eating the dogs.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
They're eating the cats.
Meow, 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 meow.
They're eating the pets of the people that live there. They're eating the dogs.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
They're eating the cats.
Meow, 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 meow.
They're eating the pets of the people that live there. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
They're eating the cats.
Meow, 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 meow.
They're eating the pets of the people that live there. They're eating the dogs.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
They're eating the cats.
Meow, 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 meow.
They're eating the pets of the people that live there. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country.
Sasha's not too happy about it. She doesn't want to be in the video right now. I think it horrified her.
The cats of Springfield. Well, if it makes people, hello everyone. Well, if it makes everybody, if it makes you feel better, and I hope it does, the money from that is going to the Humane Society in Springfield. So
That's great.
so it looks like it's close to 4 million people, but I'm sure I'm sure it will go way up. You know, I'm sure it will go way up.
I hope it does.
So listen, how have you been? I missed you. I thought of you every day.
Oh, me too. Me too. I can't help but think of you every day because I make phone calls to your clients and we talk about you every day. But I was also just with you in spirit while you were on your great trip. One day I'll go with you. One day I'll go with you on a trip somewhere.
Yes, I look forward to it. If nothing else, Taco Tuesdays. So how was your summer? Because as you know, we are back from summer break. We are officially back from summer break.
Yes, we are. It's fall. It's like going back to school. You know, it's exciting. I love it. I missed these last 2 weeks. I went through withdrawal not being on the show on Tuesdays at 5 o'clock.
And
8 p.m. Eastern.
And what is so special? You got the show notes. We get the show notes a couple of hours early.
Yeah.
What did you notice about this show?
Well, what did I notice about the show that was different from any of our other shows?
Yes.
Because, let's see, we usually talk about Donald Trump. Oh, well, okay, I know what you're referring to. Sean Diddy. He's been,
we're gonna talk about that too. But I was gonna say that it said 3-1.
3-1?
3-1, which is season 3, episode 1.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, of course.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, lady.
Hello, buddy. Hello, buddy. What am I, chopped liver?
No, I just have to get with the program here. I thought 3-1. Oh, yes. Season 3, episode 1.
How does that feel?
Oh, it's a good feeling. It feels like we've really arrived, come into our own. At least
we survived. We
getting there.
survived.
I'm still laughing about trying to keep my cat under control. You said before the show, go get your cat. Let's hold them up while we do the video. And Sasha, the viewers probably saw Sasha wanted nothing to do with it. I was like doing this with her. Come on, Sasha, hold still.
Well, here's the thing. People have been wanting to know if my cat is okay, if your cat is okay. I think the whole Springfield thing, our cats are not in anybody's soup.
No.
They are alive.
Casseroles or
nothing
sandwiches.
like that. Yeah. So, do you want to just go right into it? Do you want to just let our inhibitions run wild? I can see people already are upset and they want to just go right into it. So let's do it.
Okay.
First on the list, Sean Diddy has been charged. You want to talk a little bit about the latest with Sean Diddy?
Well, I understand he spent his first night in jail. He's considered so dangerous that he's being detained in prison right now. And what is it? 3 felony counts against him?
Yes. And what's interesting is, they had originally arrested his mule. Remember when we had looked at the fact that his mule had been arrested first, his kids, his mule, and now we're looking at him being arrested. What's also interesting is that he was denied bail, which I think is rather surprising.
Oh, yes. And I have a feeling if there had been bail, it might have been close to $1 billion for someone like him.
Yeah.
His profile and his wealth.
So I guess, we are going to blitz on everything right now. We're just doing hot topics to kind of get people involved. If you could like and subscribe, that would be a great way to support Taco Tuesdays. We've got 175 people live right now with us.
Wonderful.
Enjoying tacos, and hopefully we have also our wonderful floor director, Joel Tilson, was able to join us today. He's saying that Kamala Harris is at a 6-point lead. What do you think about them apples?
I think that's fantastic news. I think that's intriguing. There's a Facebook thing floating around. It says authorized by Kamala Harris, but it's claiming, she's saying we're 1 point behind Trump nationally. And I thought, where is that coming from? Because I'm seeing what you're seeing, like 5 points, 6 points ahead nationally. And she's even gaining in the swing states. Yeah,
she's slaughtering him. I mean, Ohio is infuriated with him. I mean, who thought that Ohio could go blue? I mean, Iowa is turning, but Ohio now because of the whole thing at Springfield.
Yeah. Now, Whimsy, I didn't see that. I mean, I'm not surprised by this, but I didn't realize Ohio was starting to turn blue. Are the polls showing she's rising ahead?
Well, what I think what has happened is that people's lives are at risk. And you now have a situation where I had said we are at risk of potentially protest happening. And that we could see race riots. I feel when I go into the energy that we are very much at risk of race riots at this time.
Oh my goodness! Well, just all the bomb threats in grade schools, middle schools, I believe high schools. I heard the DMV had to be shut down. The government offices are getting bomb threats.
Yeah, I mean, I just popped this up quickly from the Daily Mail about the Proud Boys descending on Springfield. And so how do you feel about this?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is just darkness and evil. It sounds almost like Nazis. It's just it's just intriguing to me how Trump and Vance just keep shooting themselves in the foot, playing upon things that are near and dear to the hearts of people. Dogs and cats. You don't get much more than that. You don't start more emotion than people's pets.
I guess my next question to you while we're on the subject is, do you think that if this turns into all out race riots in Ohio, could that be the thing that tips Ohio?
I think it could. I was thinking that today as I was watching the news coverage. It seems like a lot of people just need to wake up. wake up. And it just may take something like this. Not that in any way do I condone this. It's tragic. But yeah, I mean, even the Ohio governor is getting involved in this right now. You know, it's lunacy. Trump's just a lunatic out of control. And people have to wake up to that fact. And I don't know why his supporters have been so slow to do so.
The other thing that's come up, you know, regarding all of this is that, you know, JD Vance is not doing too well in all of this.
No.
Not just because he is pissing people off because of insulting cat owners, of which you and I are proud cat buddies. We don't owners, cat buddies.
We're childless cat people.
We're childless cat. Well, you know, I guess the thing I would say is that now it's coming out that he admitted that people killing pets in Springfield, that he had made the entire thing up.
Oh yes, I saw that. He said he admits to making up these stories, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said, "I don't regret doing this because I will do whatever it takes to call attention to issues." And I think what he's trying to do is call attention to the old Trump thing about the southern border crossings, immigrants in our country, illegal immigrants, and that type of thing. So he's using his home state to do this with, to facilitate it, and picking on the Haitian immigrants in Springfield, and just concocting this wild story. And then it got amplified many times over by Donald Trump.
And I don't see accountability. I mean, that's the other thing that I think is absolutely amazing, is that I'm just not seeing a lot of accountability here.
No.
From Vance or anybody else. It's kind of like this justification that everything I do is justified.
It seems to be, you know, I just get the feeling Trump is just doing whatever. I mean, Vance is doing whatever Trump tells him to do. I don't feel like Vance even believes his own words. You know how you can, you know, you and I both are very sensitive, psychic, intuitive. You can tell when a person is lying. You know, there's kind of like that skim over a person's eyes. There's that little wall when a person is lying, like they're looking backwards, like they're just not believing what they're saying. That's the vibe I get when I watch Vance speak on television. He doesn't even believe this crap, but he's doing what he's being forced to do by Trump.
Well, why don't we go ahead and turn the camera around, take a look at what our viewers are saying, say hi to everybody who has taken the time to join the stream. What are people saying, Chuck?
Well, let's see. Maureen here. Joe was just speaking to Joel. I'm a disabled veteran, and I've been so disgusted by the stuff that is pulled. Joe said, distracting us from Project 2025, and 45 losing the debate bigly. I agree, Jill. Well said. Karen saying, was that reported on the news? I haven't watched any TV news. So yes, this was all reported on the news.
I see we have a nice donation from Terry Courts. Thank you so much for the $2.79 donation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes. And then let's see. Helen here said, and then told the host to shut up. Was that JD Vance who told the television host to shut up? I don't know that. I'd be intrigued.
Really?
It sounds like him anyway. Sounds like something he would do. I'm not aware of that.
Oh my God. Crazy. Thank you to Holly W for the $1.99. Sheba Dog raises and lowers his index figures to get noticed. Oh my goodness. Yes.
And it was just brought up on the astrological tip, you know, in about 2 hours, I think we're supposed to have a huge eclipse. A lunar eclipse, and the astrologists are saying this is stirring up a lot of crazy behavior right now. For those who believe in that.
What kind of eclipse is that?
I don't know what. Well, it's a lunar eclipse, but I don't know the specific name for it. It's Pisces. The moon is in Pisces, and it's eclipsing that. And of course, Pisces, you know, is a sign. You know, not speaking of expertise, but that is around a lot of emotion, because it seems like a lot of people right now are getting very, very emotional right now, very high strung. I don't know if you've been seeing that. I've seen it. I've seen it with me even.
Well, some astrologers have said, and we can certainly talk about it, but some astrologers have said that when an asteroid comes towards Earth, even an asteroid can have an impact on the energy.
Oh,
If
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so it looks like we did, in fact, have an asteroid that was coming towards Earth. And I don't know where it went to. There was supposed to be an article on the fact that an asteroid was coming towards Earth. For whatever reason, I don't see it there. But yeah, it hit. I think it came on the 14th, and every time it comes around, it was here, I think, on 2012, the asteroid,
Yeah.
and every time. But here's a large asteroid, and coming to Earth, and every time it comes, it gets a little bit closer.
Yeah.
So here it is again. Let me see if I can show this to people. I've got a lot of things open. I should probably try and close some of them. But NASA alerts people of a stadium-sized asteroid headed towards Earth. Look at that.
Oh my God. Stadium-sized?
Yeah, and this is what took out the dinosaurs.
Yes.
Is these they hit Earth, and what's scary about them is that they can hit with the same tonnage of an atomic bomb, and they can cause us to go into a winter. For us to go in.
Yeah.
Tuesday. The 2024 On-Asteroid measures 290 meters across and will come within 1 million kilometers of Earth. The space rock last made a pass of Earth in 2013 and will make another approach in 2035, according to NASA's data. The Virtual Telescope project captured the potentially hazardous asteroid on the 9th of September, traveling at around 40,000 kilometers per hour. Reaching a minimum distance that is 2.6 times the average lunar distance, 2024 ON poses no risk to Earth on its current trajectory. However, even a small deviation could have major consequences.
Isn't that nice? Don't be afraid, but a slight deviation could wipe out the entire Earth.
Mm-hmm. That's all, just a slight deviation. But it's like, don't we have enough issues to worry about with asteroids?
It's a little scary,
Of course it is.
It's a little bit scary when you think about the fact that we are so vulnerable, and you don't want to put your head in the sand, but at the same time, how many things can I be upset and frightened of?
Yeah. This is one of those things that's so out of our control that my attitude is, what else can we do but just surrender over to whatever is going to be. But it is a frightening thought that we could be annihilated like that. And yeah, there is the theory about the dinosaurs. Wasn't it the asteroid crashed into the Earth and it created such an upheaval of dirt and dust and so forth that it just blackened the skies around the
nuclear winter.
Nuclear winter, and the dinosaurs starved to death.
Well, there was another nuclear winter that I think happened whenever was it Mount Etna? What was the one that went off when Pompeii was wiped out? Was that in the 3rd century? Something like that.
I think that was wasn't that the 1st century? Like
3rd or 4th century.
100 AD or something. Maybe, it's probably around that area. I'd have to look that up myself.
But yeah, it actually caused so much darkness that it had an impact on the tree rings in Ireland for many, many years. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, do they know that to this day they can take ancient trees and look at the rings and see around the time?
That is one of the things that tarot card readers will point out, is that one of the reasons wands are the only suit that grows. whereas a sword is just ice. It's a slower energy. Sometimes people will use swords as years. But wands, because of dendrochronology, I don't know if any of the other readers do that, but many readers will read time with the wands because we can read time in trees. You have 2 rings
Yeah.
in a year. I read a wand as 1 month. Some people a season or 6 months. But that is the origins of why people will read wands, will read time in wands. But yeah, when they cut the tree rings in Ireland, they were very close together because there was no sun, and it actually had an impact on the health of the trees. They
That is,
survived, but they survived with almost no sun.
I would love to study more about that. That's fascinating.
Yeah,
I've
it's
never
called
actually thought about that.
dendrochronology, and it's the basis of why readers, for those people who don't know, use the wands for time. Isn't that amazing?
Oh, it is amazing. I love the metaphor also of the tree rings, because I've had psychics say to me, that everything that's happened in the past is still taking place. It's like rings around us going just outward and outward and outward and outward. And there we have an actual reflection of that in the trees.
Mhm. And it's also interesting that you can look at trees and you can go back in time, that you can know what the history of a place is. And yeah, I just
Yeah.
think that's really pretty interesting. All right, more Trump news that I thought people would get interesting. A bit of a laughter about had to do, and we love our cat, had to do with the
Hmm.
fact that Taylor Swift officially came out and endorsed Kamala Harris. I am not even slightly surprised. What I think happened was that she waited until the debate because her boyfriend wanted to see the debate. Maybe he
I
was
heard that.
Oh, yeah. So I
Yeah.
was right. I suspected that. And so, being a nice girlfriend, she said, "Well, I know I'm right, but I'll let
Mhm.
him watch the debate." And then, by the way, I love her hair color there. Isn't that beautiful? That ash blonde.
She's a beautiful soul,
She's a
just
beautiful soul
inside
inside
and
and
out.
out. Yeah, absolutely. Have you met
Yeah.
her? Have you met her?
No, I came close to meeting her once. She came in our store,
Oh,
and
nice.
I was on my lunch break.
Oh,
But you remember Tracy, Tracy got to meet her and said she was just wonderful, very unpretentious, just like a regular person. But yeah, I missed meeting her, and I missed also on my lunch break meeting Barbara Streisand. Ah!
and Meghan Markle and all the others. Yes, all the
Sure,
people.
but no, Taylor's incredible, and there is a certain amount of bravery when you're a public figure. You do risk alienating a huge chunk of your core audience, but I'm sure she's smart enough to know that most of her audience probably are not Trump people to begin with. That might have been part of it.
Well, the other thing is the effect she has had, something like 400,000 new registrations to vote.
Yes, almost half a million new
Oh my God.
voters. And we have often said it's going to be the young voters that are going to make the difference for Kamala Harris. She knows that. She used her influence with these people like through Instagram, and it was like almost immediate, or within 24 hours, it's close to half a million newly registered voters because
Mm,
of her support. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, and I'm sure she's also going to make a very generous donation
yes, I'm
to
sure
the kid.
she
She's
will.
very magnanimous person. But
Well,
Trump hates her.
that's the other thing I was going to say is like, did you see the fact that he said that?
Yes. Well, it's like what I said before. They're shooting themselves in the foot by going after the very things we hold dear: dogs, cats, Taylor Swift, only one of the most beloved women on the face of the earth.
Well, yes, I mean,
Stupid.
yeah, well, everybody loves her music. Well, what do you
Yes.
say? Would you like to do the empath prayer and maybe reach out to
Yes.
the audience and see if they want to do some blitzes with us? I also want to give a shout out to
Yes.
Holly, who was kind enough to make a donation. Thank you so much, Holly W. It's much appreciated. All
Yeah.
right.
Well,
So, yeah.
start. Let's start the
But
blitz.
All right, without further ado, if you know the prayer, please feel free to help create some good vibes with us by following along. Let's do it. Okay. I want to call on white light protection from myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together collectively as a community, we say, Amen. Amen, amen, amen.
Amen.
It's a good prayer. It never gets old.
Can I show a piece of artwork real quick?
Yes, I would love to see it.
Just real quick.
It's
Look what
Taylor
I've been working on.
Swift.
No.
Oh, it's Kamala Harris. Oh my
Kamala
God.
Harris. I just wanted to show this real quick. This is what I have been working on the last 2 days. So anyway,
Oh, can I
sorry to
see that?
interrupt you, but
Whoa. Bring it back. What are you doing here? Oh gosh, you're so good at what you do. For those people who don't know, Chuck is a professional artist. He has been given some pretty high profile jobs, including painting for the James Dean family and also for the Lucille Ball family
Yes.
home. And I
have
believe
4
you're
paintings.
yes, and I believe you're donating this to the Kamala Harris.
Well, that's the plan. That's the plan. I'm just exploring what's the best possibility, how's the best use for this. But I was very, very compelled to do a portrait of her, and I spent the last 2 days just working my little heart out. This has about 20 hours of work in it.
You know what I love about this painting?
Wow.
I love the joy, the pure joy that she, look at that face. Look at that. There, she's not holding back on that smile. There's no like, oh my God, I shouldn't be. Oh no, it's big. And that's exactly who she is.
Yes.
Let your light shine. Don't hold it back. Don't be afraid. Why you laugh like that? You know, there are people in this world, they just want to break your spirit. They just want to
love her
and
energy.
she just keeps shining. She just keeps smiling. Thank you so much for painting
Oh,
that.
of course. I'm sorry to interrupt you there, but I just wanted to show that
that's
real quick.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Speaking of her laugh, didn't you love during the debate? I know we're getting ahead of here, but the debate when she, during the split screen, she maximized her silent time by just doing her little reactions. And then at some points, just laughing at Donald Trump, which is the very thing he cannot stand. And she knew that. She knew that was going to just go right through him.
Well, yeah. And it's just very, very funny to see all the crazy going on. Yeah. All right. So we've got a couple comments here from our floor director, changing up the energy a little bit. Things are heating up in Russia. He's bringing more people to the front. You know, the war ended in Afghanistan with Russia when the mothers of the soldiers who were dying said enough is enough. Could we be seeing it being enough is enough because so many mothers are losing their children? 600,000 Russians dead. And now, according to Joel, the oligarchs are having private meetings to oust Putin. He has hit both Poland and Lithuania, I believe. And I think that we're getting very close to NATO doing a second strike. I don't know if you want to throw cards on it, but I'm thinking like this is looking like we're headed towards Moscow.
Well, it's just the point when you said enough is enough. That might be ultimately the energy that's going to make the difference. Just enough civilians, as you said, pointed out, mothers. You know, it's not just sons being lost, it's sons and daughters being lost. It's just waste. It's anyway, we should pull cards on this. I'm saying the obvious here.
So let's go ahead and see about the future of Russia and the future of Putin in Russia. Let's take a look.
Okay.
And if you can like and subscribe, that would be awesome. Chuck and I would appreciate it.
Oh, wow.
What you got?
Well, you know, I just go by what falls out of the deck. I start shuffling, and I literally let them jump forward. Look at this. Exhaustion. Just what we were saying, people. And look at the picture. The people are just worn out. They're tired. And then I got truth coming to the surface, and shame, truth, exhaustion. I think that is what's going on. But you, of course, are more specific with your cards.
Well, when you say truth and exhaustion, I guess I just want to ask you the question, do you feel like the people of Russia are, because so many people have died, that they are starting to feel like they've been lied to about the war?
Yes. I thank you for saying that. That's truth coming to the surface. I should have worded that better, but yeah, that's what I'm getting. It's like, it's rising up. The truth cannot be denied. It's being seen. Hence, collective shame around this and the exhaustion. People are just tired of this crap. It can't go on anymore. That's in general what I'm getting from these.
You know, what I'm getting from the oligarchs is that they want to get back to business. You know, the issue for them, money. The jobs are not there. They have lost their companies, and they're never getting their companies back. Look at this Four of Pentacles, poverty. So he has destroyed the Russian economy. They want, the good days of Russia behind them. His karma is, I keep seeing them sending him, telling him to retire. I think he's, you know, this is a guy who's going to be strongly encouraged to retire, just like Yeltsin.
Yeah. Well,
which is what they did to Yeltsin.
We've been hearing that before on previous shows. You know, didn't we both see him going to Siberia? Not necessarily the gulags or anything like that, but just being sent away, like to some home in Siberia or something, where out of sight, out of mind. Is that what you're getting?
I think so, because there are so many people that love and are protecting him in Russia that it's not going to be so easy to kill him. They didn't kill Yeltsin. A lot of them wanted to kill Gorbachev. Instead, they just retired them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Helen Wheels had something interesting to say. She said that a lot of people are leaving MAGA. They're coming out openly now and leaving MAGA. We can throw a couple cards on the exit from MAGA. Are we seeing the death of MAGA? I guess that's.
I hope so. I hope so.
Let's take a look at that.
Okay. Well, I'm certainly getting, I got the first card, devotion card. You know, we know how loyal the MAGA extremists have been in their devotion to Donald Trump, no matter what the man says, what the man does, they stick with him. But there could be finally some awakening, some, similar fatigue, people just having enough of this, because I also got priorities. People are starting to look at reality here. They're looking at their own priorities. They're looking at the craziness of what's going on, saying, hey, wait a minute here. And then this was the third card I got, new beginnings. Like, yes, let's move behind all of this sickness, all of this insanity, all of this violence, all of this craziness. Let's start putting our country back together again. Let's start unifying. That's what I get from that, from new beginnings.
Yeah, I think we've hit a tipping point. I think that Bill Maher, the great oracle of Bill Maher, who's a lot nicer in real life. I always have to tell people he doesn't come into Erewhon and talk to people. He's like that. He's very respectful. But you have this like gift from God. It's almost like compassion for people that were deceived. And then you have the lovers, which is reaching across the aisle. So it's almost like forgiving the people that got deceived. And then this is my green economy. It's almost like turning towards, it's like people are waking up to their ethics. But what's also interesting is that for those people who will not leave MAGA, there will be legal implications because there's a Five of Swords. And I'm telling you, I'm sorry to say it. I wish I didn't have to say it. I see race riots. And it's that dang Proud Boys. And then I'm worried that you're going to get extreme on both, crazy
Both sides.
behavior. Well, not extreme necessarily, but people, I don't want anyone hurt like the woman that was killed. She wasn't an extremist. She just didn't support the Proud Boys, the woman that was killed in North Carolina in Charlottesville, where they just drove over her. And so I don't want, I'm worried about this. And then you're going to have the cops coming in because Five of Swords is to take the weapons away. So for those people who do not leave willingly, who are out there fighting, they're going to prison. With the Five of Swords coming in, we could see them really dismantled.
These people are just so crazed. It's like they believe I get the feeling they're willing to put their lives on the line for Donald Trump and the MAGA Republican cause. And it's crazy. I mean, if they were crazy enough to storm the Capitol January 6th a few years ago, they're still crazy enough to do God only knows what else. It's like desperation. Just particularly as it looks like Trump is losing, I think we're going to see more desperation coming to the surface, and more reactionary behavior to that.
Do you think that just as I guess this is my next question because of how we presented it today, but do you think that just as they're waking up, the Russians are waking up to the truth? Because we were lied to, and so were the MAGA people.
That's a good point. That it's almost like a parallel happening at the same time. We're mirroring each other. It's a similar kind of waking up, and it's ultimately going to be the people who save the day. But I've actually prayed on this because I watch these Trump supporters, these MAGA people, and it's just like, did they have a worm put in their brain or something? It's like they're possessed. It's like a Twilight Zone episode. And I've actually been praying that there's something collective that starts to awaken people in whatever way it needs to be, so they see the truth, they see the facts of Donald Trump.
People have been asking a couple questions about Diddy and the arrest on Diddy, if you don't mind going back to that a little bit, and the fact that he was arrested, no bail. There have been many allegations. One of the things he's been charged with is human trafficking. I can't even imagine how many counts of human trafficking.
God.
He was awesome. And racketeering.
I get the feeling it could be hundreds of people. Oh, God. Hundreds. I mean, just from what the news coverage I was watching today, we've certainly talked about this in previous months. I've watched a lot of the videos you've sent me and news pieces covering this. I mean, I'm disgusted with the fact that I actually stood 12 inches from this man and talked to him, because he used to come into our store.
Yeah.
I'm like, yuck. I was actually in the presence of his energy.
I didn't get creeped. I didn't get creeped out. I mean, did you get creeped out? I mean, he was just there getting his smoothie.
Exactly. I didn't get creeped out at the time either. I mean, I saw he was certainly aloof. I've told that story how he refused to pose for a selfie with someone.
Right.
But I've told that he was polite about it. He said, "Look, I just got out of the gym. I'm all sweaty. I don't look good. I can't have a bad picture getting out on the internet." I thought, okay, that's a classy explanation. But nonetheless, he always was aloof. But I never got this kind of energy from him.
I felt the power. When I was around him because I was sitting in the owner's box. We got tickets for the owner's box at Lakers, and he came in and sat in front of us and had some scotch. And he was with his mule, who was the first person to be arrested. And I assume they got evidence against him from his mule. His mule probably flipped. You remember that guy, the Diddy's mule?
Yeah, I do. I don't remember all the specifics of it, but I remember us talking about it.
Yeah. So what happened was that he came into the owner's box with his mule, and let me see if I can get an image of him. and they were with two women. They were with two females, and hopefully they were there by choice, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
Brendan Paul. So he came in with Brendan Paul and two women. And my feeling is that probably they arrested Paul first, and then Paul flipped.
Mhm.
And I would assume they got a lot of evidence from Paul.
Oh, I think they've been spending months on this case, before they dropped the ball yesterday. So I think they do have a tight case, but I have a feeling there are going to be a lot of other arrests, because you think about all of the publicists, the agents, the henchmen, all the yes people to Sean Combs. How much accountability do they have in this? And I'm wondering if that's going to start coming up to the surface as well.
Let's find out. Let's take a look.
Well, I had 4 cards jump out, but 2 of these I think are interrelated: suffering and despair. That's going. But I was thinking specifically about other people tied in with this when I was asking the question with the cards. So I found it interesting. I got community. Here we got people hand in hand. Community. That jumped out, and then I got judgment. So yeah, I do get from this there are going to be other convictions. There's going to be a lot more to this story as it unfolds. A lot more people.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for mentioning that. So, for him to do something like this, for Diddy to have done something like this, requires hundreds of enablers. Who else is involved?
Yeah. It's almost like what we were talking about with Matthew Perry, and how there were like 5 or 6 other people involved in that case, and more are turning up. Well, this is much bigger. Who knows how many henchmen were working for Combs, and certainly in on this. I'm sure a lot of people had to know about what was going on. I also thought it was interesting. Remember, we were speculating. I can't remember if we knew at the time it was fact or speculation about how he was video recording a lot of these sex acts, after people had been drugged and inebriated, and he was using that to blackmail these people, or to use it as collateral so he'd have control. Well, they confirmed on the news today, yes, he was definitely doing that. I don't know if we confirmed it before or not.
Well, I think that it was referred to in Hollywood circles when you do that as drinking the golden juice.
Yes. Oh, and that was disgusting.
And one of the survivors talked about it. So you get shamed or raped, or who's the woman that was raped? She was a great singer, and then she went a little crazy. They talk about, she's been very public, if people can remember her name. African-American woman, had a beautiful voice, and then she disappears off the scene. I'm sure the fans of the show
hopefully someone will know. I'm ashamed to say I can't remember the name.
They raped her and filmed it, and then one of the guys that raped her got her a copy of the tape. He felt bad about it and got her a copy of the tape. So it was drinking the golden juice, and so at the end of it, you have to drink his urine. Yeah. So that was the goal. That was or whatever excrement. So that was the goal. And at that point, you're basically in the cult. And this is, and so this is how old Hollywood is run. It's pretty sick stuff. So that was the outing of the golden juice. He is not getting out of prison anytime soon. I got the 5 of Cups, which is grieving Jaguar Wright. So Jaguar Wright was one of the people who was assaulted. Thank you so much. See how smart our fans are. So Jaguar Wright was brutally raped, and it was filmed by multiple people. Just a nightmare, and a testimony to her strength that she was able to come out, and people thought she was crazy, and now everything she's saying is the truth. And kudos to her for having the courage to speak truth to power.
Oh,
And even if people think you're crazy, to have that kind of courage, that's real. That's really royalty, as far as I'm concerned. So
that
I
took
hope,
tremendous bravery.
right?
She could have
Yeah.
been murdered. She could have been murdered, or at the very least, as you said, publicly shamed, her reputation destroyed, decimated. I mean, I applaud this woman for her bravery.
I see repentance with Diddy. I
Do
do.
you?
I see him clean and sober and repentance. He has this grief over what he has lost, and there he is facing the judge, the powerful female energy. As you have the emperor and the empress.
Yeah.
The emperor is the logic. The high priestess is the hidden truths getting revealed. So it's a type of Torah, by the way, is the law. It's to keep the law, the Torah. So I would not be surprised if he faces a female judge, but this is strong female power over the law. And the emperor is also that law kind of energy. But look at this. He comes with the Knight of Cups, and then out comes the Empress. So he could be somebody who goes through a deep spiritual change, and then all of the money, all of the wealth is given to the survivors. Yeah.
Intriguing. But you,
He may have to, everything is going to the victims. Everything is going to the Empress. Empress is also Gaia, and it's the power of the woman, and the earth is female, has this female energy. So there's this grief facing of a female judge, and then here's the atonement, and then the Empress, which is the divine feminine, and the earth being healed from this.
well, I'm just thinking back to things that you've been talking about for months, the female power taking over the earth, men such as this having to face their accountability for their actions, but also going back to last year when we were talking about the actor-writer strike and how it was so out of proportion. Here's this upper 1%, living in their mansions up in the Hollywood Hills, looking out at the Pacific Ocean and counting their money, while the poor actors are barely able to pay their rent. And you said, I'm paraphrasing you, Whimsy, but you said something about how the universe is not going to support this anymore. And there's going to be, it's going to balance out where all of that wealth is going to start going back to the people, to the actors, the writers, the people who do the hard work.
Well, you're a working actor, and you're trained in voice and acting. And so you just basically said, well, I'm going to YouTube. So you are paid as an actor, and you're not rich. Actors are never meant to be rich, but you are a working actor. You're on TV now, you're working as an actor. And maybe that's the shift and so the money went away from Hollywood and is going directly into the hands of the entertainer. And I think that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I just saw all the parallels, and how appropriate a female judge.
Yeah.
How appropriate.
So Joel Tilson has another question. He wants to know if you see Diddy getting a life sentence, or can we take a look and see what kind of sentence is coming for Diddy?
I'm intrigued by this one. Just see what falls out here. Well, these are the three dominant cards that came out for me. Well, first of all, it's not going to be something Diddy is going to be happy about. Despair. But my other two cards, balance and judgment. So I'm getting, it's going to be a just decision. how he is sentenced, it's going to be appropriate. It's going to be fair. It's going to be about balance and justice. Hence that card. What was it? Yes, despair. It's not good for him, but it will be good just for fairness, justice, fairness.
Yeah, I'm not seeing life in prison, but what I am seeing is that he serves his time and he pays a very strong restitution. How much money is this guy worth?
I think it's been estimated at between 2 and 3 billion. I could be wrong on that, but
He's a billionaire.
someone that knows.
It's all
Yeah.
going. It's all going to the victims, and it's all going to recovery for human. He's giving it all away. You have a partnership coming in. Family secrets. You know, something must have happened to him. He must have been trafficked or used in his family, because there's this, the dark aspects of inheritance is dirty little family secrets, and he does have it in his karma card. So there's something not kosher there that happened to him that made him crazy.
Okay. Now Scorpio said 600 million. Maybe the value of his worth has gone down, because I'm pretty sure he was once considered a billionaire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I don't know. We could look that up.
But his magician and ace of wands with a 6 of wands, you know, this is a guy who after 5 to 10 years in prison, 12 years I'm getting, I think he could be sentenced for a long time, but he could get out in 5 to 12 with good behavior. And then all of his money he's going to have to take every freaking dime and give it to the victims. This guy's mission is, it's all going to the recovery of the victims. It's I see a major thing where he is going to have to do. It's easy to be numb and to be a psychopath when you're stoned on multiple drugs, because how these drugs work is that they shut down our connection with our frontal cortex. But who is he going to be after his brain gets right and he's sitting sober in front of a judge and having to face the consequences of his actions, and is willing to do anything to get out of prison? We could see in the next 5 to 12 years, this guy is not going to be like Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby never apologized or took responsibility for anything.
No.
He was the victim until the very end. Diddy, his cards indicate he is going to find a way to get out of this, but I also see restitution. 900 million. So, and then there's possibly some offshore accounts. 100% there's offshore accounts, because he was bringing in liquid cocaine from outside the United States, and evidently that was his main income source.
Yeah. I'm thinking also, as his public image has suffered, that's probably affected his fortune, because one of his branches, well, music being one, but also lifestyle, clothing, that type of thing. If sales drop off for that would certainly make the stock value of his worth go down. And maybe that's why he was once considered a billionaire and no more.
Somebody is also saying, Ashley here, that he and his mother have a video out talking about going to strip clubs together. Well, we don't want to be going to strip clubs with our parents. That's pretty disgusting. And it also maybe speaks to this idea of inappropriate growing up with inappropriate and warped ideas.
Yeah, bad parenting. It seems almost like a given.
So karma comes around, right? Karma comes around.
Yes.
All right, so switching gears a little bit on the discussion, I wanted, people have asked me, would I please look at this? And I think it's time for us to give, the creeps are all coming out of the woodwork. Let's give it up for the amazing creep of the creep of the, as far as creeps go, Laura Wilbur. Yes. And you know, the worst part about this is that she's wearing a Star of David. And, you know, this is somebody who knows nothing about Judaism. She's not Orthodox. She's not an observant Jew. She didn't grow up with any kind of observance. She's just waving the star around for, I don't know, some reason. But Laura Loomer is denying that she had an affair with Trump again, even though there are evidently somebody close to Trump heard him say that she's the best BJ he ever had.
Oh,
So they were joking on political, the
yeah.
political show. I can't remember what it's called. Political.
Is it Bill Maher's show you're thinking of?
No, it's the woman, political something.
Rachel Maddow?
On YouTube. She's a YouTube
Oh,
personality, but she said that she was thinking about his dirty diapers and she just can't go there. But so,
Oh, oh, oh! I'm gonna get that image out of my mind now. Ick.
so according to somebody close to Trump, he had been bragging like that was the best BJ I ever had. So, and she's been very, very reactive. I don't do that. That's what Kamala Harris does. Kamala Harris does these things. It's like, doth the woman protest too much? But anyway,
Oh my God!
she's denying again that she did not have an affair. It's Kamala Harris that's the one who's
Oh, I
doing all
know.
these nice
Didn't
things.
she say that Kamala Harris had been having sex with the mayor of San Francisco when she was a criminal prosecutor, and that's how she rose up the ranks, or something outrageous? I think she said that.
She's a sociopath. But
Yeah.
what can we say about her? Does she have a future at all? You wonder, do people are people exhausted by these types of people that try to bait us into fighting?
With the image, I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I was just going
No.
to say the image that comes to mind is the famous Andy Warhol quote, we'll all be famous for 15 minutes. I get the feeling like she's up to like the 13th or 14th minute. She's a novelty. She's a freak show. She's a distraction. As someone said earlier, things like this take away from Trump's disastrous debate performance, the outrageous comments. That's what I think she is. I think she's going to just disappear.
Well, let's take a look and see the future of Laura Loomer. Political beatdown.
Yeah.
Maybe that was it.
Well, the woman, she trolls the internet for stories and then hands it to Trump, where he just blows it up even bigger. So there's like this sixth synergy between them. But cards, I just saw what was coming out, and first of all, this seems to be a theme on the show today. We're talking about just people getting tired of all this crap, just worn out, because once again, I got the exhaustion card. I take that to mean the public is over this, tired of it. And as far as she goes, I got shadow, shame, and loss. Yeah, she's just shooting herself in the foot, not unlike the man she allegedly is having an affair with. She's just going to bring herself down. That's what I'm getting from this.
I think you're right. And I think also what I see is that there's going to be retaliation. She's starting to make people angry. She's got the Five of Pentacles, which is the poverty card, and abandoning a broken guy is kind of how I see. You're trying to get away from there will come a time when she will be running from Trump, because if Trump is going to prison or if he's dragging her down, this is the type of person that's going to take care of herself first. I also see the moon, which is lunacy, and a new beginning comes to her. Seven of Cups. You never want to see this juxtaposition, lunacy and in the cups. I think you're 100% right. I think it's a flash in the pan. I think that people are sick and tired of her, and people are going to start retaliating by saying, "Get the hell away from me." And I think that when Trump goes down, if it makes her look bad, she's probably going to be, I would not be surprised if she was the person that tries to get away from him. Like, if it doesn't make her, she'll latch on to anybody that makes her look good. And if it doesn't make her look
Yeah.
good, then I could see her having nothing to do with it. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I think that anything Donald Trump touches, he pretty much puts a curse on them. He's put a taint on her. I could see her either fading away, or she could be like one of those celebrity freak show type things where they get an agent and a publicist and they go on Dancing with the Stars and, and on reality shows. But I mean, I could see her going in a direction like that. Like, let's just milk this fame for everything I can get out of this. Or she could just disappear.
Oh my God, that's hysterical. You know what? I think if she went on Dancing with the Stars, it's very likely people would throw tomatoes at her. I mean, it's get off the stage, we hate you. I mean, she is truly a woman who has made herself truly hated. Go back to the guy in diapers. But meanwhile, I predict with those cards that the day is going to come when she's going to be running from Trump. Mm-hmm. Remember the good old days when I had that great BJ with you? I don't know you. I don't know what you're talking about. You're in a federal prison. No, you're in a prison in the middle of some, what do we say? Put him in a military base somewhere so that the loonies don't try and break him out. Okay. Okay, so this in the news. One of the things that's also come up is that pagers are exploding all across Lebanon. Gosh darn, it couldn't happen to a nicer group of people.
Oh God.
Have you seen this film footage?
I saw it on the news today. It's just horrifying. You know, my first thought, this plays out like something in a movie, you know, like The Joker or something, you know, everybody's pagers or phones simultaneously exploding. You know, I mean, I know it turned out that there were explosives put into these pagers.
Introducing
Allison. Yeah, well,
it wasn't just the batteries. But, you know, I had a horrible thought, and I know this may not be totally related to the seriousness of this, but in the future, would it be possible for terrorists to download something into our phones?
No, I think that what happened is that it was that there's civil war happening in Iran, and I think that Iranian Guard is trying to take out the religious extremists.
In which people in Lebanon are going about their daily lives in markets, buying goods in grocery stores, and suddenly explosions go off next to them. What this appears to be is hundreds of incidents where individuals, it's believed affiliated with Hezbollah, have pagers that have exploded almost simultaneously, all within a very brief period of time, causing hundreds, perhaps even thousands of injuries. Lebanese hospitals are calling upon staff to come back to their places of work. Hospitals are also calling on people to donate all kinds of blood. Among the injured is, according to one semi-official Iranian news agency, is the Iranian ambassador to Beirut. Now, Lebanese officials are suggesting Israel is behind it. This comes within the context of the continuing and increasing tensions between Hezbollah and Israel going back to October 7th of last year.
Okay, so what I was going to say is they're in civil war. They're in civil war in Iran. And I think that Israel is working with the Iranian Guard, which is trying to take them out. And so what they did was they said, you can't use WhatsApp because Israel is monitoring us through WhatsApp. So we've got to go to pagers. We've got to go to pagers and to communicate, because then they won't be able to hack us. Well, who gave them the pagers?
Mm-hmm.
People in the Iranian Guard gave them the pagers. They're the ones that gave them the pagers that had the bombs inside the pagers.
Yes.
That were detonated they pushed a button that detonated these. All the pagers had little bombs in them. So who would have had the power to have put the bombs in the pagers? the Iranian Guard that is
Yes.
trying to. So Iran, on the one hand, Iran is funneling money to Hezbollah, and on the other hand, Iran is trying to take out Hezbollah because you have civil war, where only 30% of the people in Iran right now support the Muslim extremists that are in power. And so this is what happened when Ibrahim Raisi got taken down in the helicopter. They said, well, take a look. Well, it was just bad weather because there was nothing wrong with the helicopter. So there's no evidence that Israel blew up the helicopter. There's no, well, no, they didn't blow it up. We did a remote view. They did not blow it up. What they did was they gave them a nice pot of tea. They handed it to the pilot, and then they started flying. And when they got to a stable altitude, they all had a nice cup of tea, which had cyanide in it. And then they crashed into a mountain. And the last thing the pilot said is, I don't feel so good. So, of course, no evidence that they had bombed the helicopter because the helicopter was in fine working order. What they didn't bother to do is check the fact that everybody had been poisoned to death. And that is why the guy crashed into the mountain. So the reason they took out Ibrahim Raisi is because he was a Muslim extremist who strongly supported Hezbollah. And he was up to be the next in line after Ayatollah gets taken out. So they took him out, and then they did a coup, and they got a moderate in there, and then they set it up for them. They knew the moderate was going to win because they knew the people were going to vote for the moderate. And now he's saying he wants to reopen a peace accord with the United States, and we can negotiate. And meanwhile, back at the ranch, the Iranian Guard is shoving bombs, 3,500 bombs, and saying, go to pagers. And it's the Israelis. Well, in a sense it could, because Israel is probably working with the Iranian military to take out Hezbollah.
Yeah.
And now we're finding out that, in fact, it was the Iranian Guard that took out Hania, if that's how you say it properly, who got taken out in Iran, who was the head of Hamas. It's now been shown that, in fact, it was the Iranian Guard that took him out. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's getting crazier and crazier. I mean, but even like what you said about the poison tea, the cyanide, it almost surprises me in an investigation they wouldn't have done autopsies on the remains just to see whoever was piloting the helicopter if there was anything in his system. I'm surprised that wasn't checked.
Well, if there was an explosion, if the bodies were burned or mangled, would they have even bothered to do an out? I mean, like, what would have been? It probably wouldn't have even entered their minds.
Maybe, but it seems like there would be enough. There'd be enough human remains where they could still test, because they can find traces of things in bones. They've, from skeletons from hundreds of years ago, they can determine if a person had been poisoned. So I don't know, but I'm just surprised. It would seem to me in a thorough investigation that would be one of the things you would want to check. But I guess in this case, no. There's no reason.
They did not do autopsy. And I think also in Islam, they usually try to bury people within 24 hours. So it could have been just something that they assumed that it was, if it had been sabotage, that it would have been the helicopter. But when we did a remote, I got pulled into being the actual guy, and I felt the pain. I kept ignoring a little bit of indigestion, but then it got really worse and worse. And then I felt the heat come up. I called in, and my last words were, I don't feel so good, man. And he gave that tea to everybody on the plane.
Ooh.
Yeah. So they all went out. They were dead before they hit the mountain.
Gosh.
On that happy note, can we end this with a happy note?
Well, yes, please.
Yes, let's talk about this cute little tabby drifter.
Oh,
I believe the cat's name is Drifter.
Drifter is the cat's name.
Yes. Have you heard about Drifter?
Yes, I have. Poor little thing was lost for 8 weeks and was lost in a sewer.
Now this sounds like something that Mila would do.
Or my salsa.
I remember when you took care of Mila and she would just take
Oh,
off.
God. Yes. I remember that day. I was supposed to come over to your place for about an hour to look after Mila. I was at your place for about 10 hours because Mila ran off and we couldn't find her.
I think you had to cancel some meetings or something.
I did, but I was horrified. I think it's everybody's fear when you're pet sitting for somebody and you lose their pet. I was like, oh no, what have I done? Whimsy's going to be so upset with me.
Well, I remote viewed Mila to try and, what the hell are you doing? And she said, I love Chuck. I didn't want him to leave. So
Yes.
she was forcing you to stay. That's what was going on. She knew you were going to go. Anyway, yeah, so Drifter was a 3-year-old. It's funny that the name is Drifter, and it was in Duluth. But the thing is, he went missing, and they heard meowing in the storm drain 8 dang weeks. What the heck was the cat eating in the storm drain?
I don't know. They said the cat was very thin. But poor thing must have been living off of something. But I hate to think what. The cats, as we know, are very industrious.
Yes, and they say that the cat had aspirations of being an outdoor cat, was constantly trying to get out, and I made it out, and I broke free. Something tells me the cat does not want to live out in the middle of that ever again. Talk about a hard lesson. Yeah, they heard the meowing and they rescued him. 8 weeks. That is crazy.
It's like, be careful what you wish for, Drifter. And maybe he's changed his tune. Maybe it's like, maybe my nice little cat bed and my scratching post and my home isn't so bad after all, after being in a sewer for 8 weeks, you know?
Yeah, wow. Crazy.
But I'm glad he was found.
Yeah, me too. Well, this was a crazy Taco Tuesday, wasn't it?
Oh, we were all over the place today, but I think we kind of knew that. We haven't done a show in 2 weeks, you know, and a lot's happened the last 2 weeks. The debates, for example, and I mean, so much stuff we could have talked about just there, you know. So I knew it was going to be a free for all today. And then I was just amazed when the news about Sean Combs came out after we had talked about it so many times in the past.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was good. That was probably going to be breaking pretty soon, just because when they arrested his mule, I knew he was not long for this world. You know, that they were going to turn against him. I wanted to mention you don't have the book yet, right? It's coming to you. I know it was ordered, and you're going to be getting it in the next couple of days. For those of you who don't know. This is Belle, the novel. We have a book of the month club. I think we're meeting at the end of September. I thought it was October, but it's actually, we're scheduled to meet with her. I think it's October 1st. We're going to be interviewing her. Yeah, Tuesday, October 1st. We're doing Taco Tuesday with.
I better get my copy of my book.
Oh, you will. You will.
Yeah.
So October 1st, we're going to be meeting with Judy Ann Jamerson. She is the author of Belle, and it is a really, you know, it's one of those books you could probably read in a couple of days.
Good.
It's a very powerful read. It's about a woman in her neighborhood who was an alcoholic and actually a spiritual relationship, but her child dies and due to a murder, et cetera, et cetera. But if you want to order the book, it can be ordered online through the company that published it. Oh, where is Debbie? I need Debbie. Debbie's usually really good at mentioning these things. But yeah, so if you Google Belle by Judy Jamerson, we had the link before. Let me see if I can get it for people. Belle by Judy Jamerson. Right now, it's not available. People have tried to find it on Amazon. It's Eckhart's Press. So I'll go ahead and give people the link for those of you that are part of our Book of the Month Club. We've been getting some really powerful books. I love these books with strong female characters, but of course, any book that has, I want ethics books. So, but this is Belle, Judy Ann Jamerson. It was published in October of 2022. It's $20. She's a really, and Judy Ann Jamerson is a really interesting person as well. But you can order through Eckhart's Press. And yeah, we look forward to seeing her on October 1st for that interview. If you have a book that you would like to appear on Taco Tuesdays, we get together about once a month and we review books by independent writers. And if you would like to appear on our show, please send it to Dr. Whimsy Anderson, 1819 Southwest 5th Avenue, Suite 116, Portland, Oregon, 97201. The address is below. And that is how you get a book to us, and you get to be on Taco Tuesday talking about your book. All right. Did you have fun?
Favorite things. Yeah.
Yeah, we really love it.
I love doing the book interviews. I was just going to say that's one of my favorite things on the show because I've been a lifelong reader, and I've often thought I would love to talk to the author. I get my wish every month now. It's terrific. And if I could just throw out, people have been saying the sweetest things about my artwork, and I didn't get a chance to just say thank you. Thank you so much for your kind words. And there was one lady here, Rose Blue, said, "Can I please see the painting?" She was a little late, so I'm just going to hold it up one more time here, not to be self-indulgent by any means, but she asked to see it. But I wanted to thank all.
No, we love it. Please show the painting. Let people see it one more time. Chuck will be donating it to the Kamala Harris. Maybe it will be auctioned off. I know we've been doing some auctions for Kamala Harris at some of the fundraisers and dinners. So maybe this can be given to the Harris campaign and as part of the auction. And again, Chuck is a world famous artist. He's very humble, but he is a world famous artist. He, like I said, he has put out work for the James Dean family, and his art appears at the Lucille Ball's home, childhood home.
Her childhood home. Yeah.
You're very humble, but you're actually quite famous.
Well, I'm working on building up the ranks, but this is something I did from the heart because I wanted to do something for Kamala, for the campaign. And I'm going to ask you and some other intuitive friends, what is the highest good I can do with this artwork to help her campaign? That's a good point. Maybe auction it? Or...
I think it would be auctioned for one of our dinners, because I sometimes go to those Democratic dinner fundraisers, and we sometimes have auctions, and I think that would be great if we could auction it off. Yeah. That's just my suggestion. So I would contact them. Anything else you need to announce about your show or anything you're doing?
Oh, just please like and subscribe my own channel, Chuck's Captivating Chronicles. Talk about old Hollywood history, a lot of I Love Lucy, Lucille Ball stories. And I do a live stream on Mondays, Chuck's Captivating Chat, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Not unlike what we do on Tuesdays here. Thank you.
I think that's it. I think the show has come to an end. Alas, we come to the end of Taco Tuesdays. What more can we say? Thank you all for coming. Be sure and share, like, subscribe. Think about being a member of the channel. It definitely helps the channel. Please be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Take care. Peace out. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
See you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.